Hi, my name is Stephanie Weiner, and I'll be showing how to use the Gale Primary Sources Archives of Sexuality and Gender. So this is the main page of the archive. You will access it through your university. I am accessing mine through Cal State University, San Jose. So when you go to your library's website, the school library's website, you go to databases and you search Archives of Sexuality and Gender. And it will take you to a link that will bring you to this home page. So to show some features, if you look on the right-hand side, we have some tabs. One says collections, one says publications, one says about, one is learning center, one is search history, the last is get link. We scroll down a bit, we have searchable archives. One is LGBTQ history and culture since 1940, part 1. The other is sex and sexuality, 16th to 20th century. So these are highlighted archives. And then we have an about for the resource for the archives. So it says the Archives of Sexuality and Gender program provides a robust and significant collection of primary sources for the historical study of sex, sexuality, and gender. With material dating back to the 16th century, researchers and scholars can examine how sexual norms have changed over time, health and hygiene, the development of sex education, the rise of sexology, changing gender roles, and social movements in activism, erotica, and many other interesting topical areas. This growing archival program offers rich research opportunities across a wide span of human history. And then they have a tab that says read more about this resource. So that's nice to read to know exactly what the archive or resource you're using is providing. And if you scroll a little more, there's two search tools, one called Topic Finder and one called Term Frequency that we will explore later. So back at the top, if you look here at the search box, we have the general search box. You can type anything or advanced search. So we're going to click on advanced search. Here we have all the typical things you have in an advanced search. So you can type in your search terms, and then it has the Boolean operators and or and not that you can use. There are keywords, entire document, document title, publication title, and the rest. So you can type in something and choose which one it is. So if you type in a certain person, you can select author and creator. If you want to do a certain topic, you can select subject. Or if you want to do general, you can just do keyword. You can do multiple at a time. Here they have a little search tips bar, so it shows the operators and it lists proximity, nesting, and then special characters like quotation marks, wildcards, and ignored. And then, of course, we have our limiters a little lower. So here you can select the archive. So they have two different ones that you can search that we saw on the main page. Content type, publication date, illustrated works, document type, all of that. So you can select anything within these. And then you would hit search to find what you're looking for, or reset form if you want to clear everything to do a new search. And then here for the other search options, you have publication search and topic finder. So we're going to click on publication search. So it's what we saw lower down in that advanced form. Or you can click on list of all the publications and click through there. On the left-hand side, it shows all of them. And then there's more results. And then on the right side, you can do your limiters. So we have a date range that you can use, language, city, state, and country to search through those. So you can browse publications, browse by date, And then if we go back here, we can go to Topic Finder. Here, this is an interesting tool that they have. It says find new topics or keywords and discover new connections found in the top results. So then it has a little how it works explanation here. On the bottom, it says this tool takes the titles, subjects, and approximately the first 100 words from a subset of your top results and feeds them into an algorithm. Keywords shown in the graphics are those found most often in the text with your search term. The topic for Illinois might bring up unexpected connections from the text like Chicago, along with unexpected but commonly related terms like water, steel, and the names of people who appear frequently in documents about Illinois. So let's test it out here. Let's type in feminist, but we're not going to put the full word feminist. We're just going to put feminine like that, and then we're going to do a little asterisk there. So that is truncation. That's a search strategy. So it will bring up all the words that start with feminine or femin. So like feminist, feminine, feminism. So it's going to bring up all those things. So let's see. Cool. So it brings you this really cool visualization. It's tiles, or you can do wheel. I like the tiles a little more. So we have feminist, we have feminism, like I was saying, femininity, and then things related to that. So we have political party, women's liberation, feminism, lesbians, women's movement, and then lives, long, writing, and Black women, future of feminism. And so these are all things connected to the word feminist, or the root word femin. And then here it tells you what to do with the results. It says clicking on a topic wheel or clicking on a tile narrows your original search results to the documents also containing that subject or term. Click on a section to display results. So let's click on women's liberation. So here on the right-hand side, it's going to bring up all the results connected to women's liberation. It has quite a few articles. And then it has those key terms under each topic, like here at the bottom, feminism, Ruth Geller, seeds. Above that, for the next one, we have feminism, political parties. So it brings everything up that has to do with that topic, women's liberation. So this can be a useful tool for when you need to look into a topic, but it's so broad you don't know where to start. This could be a good tool to help you narrow what you're looking for when you're not sure what you're looking for yet. So let's go back to advanced search. And let's do that again with the word femin, with that truncation. So we're just going to do that and see how it brings up the results in comparison to the topic finder. So we're just going to use this one, and then we're going to hit search at the bottom. So now we have results of all content types because we didn't limit anything. So we have monographs, manuscripts, newspapers, and periodicals. And it highlights the top few of each type. So let's say you want to look into newspapers and periodicals. So let's click on that one because it has 110,549 results. So we click on that one. It's going to give you all those results, and that's a lot to sort through. So that's why we use the limiters. So here on the right, it says filter your results. So to narrow this down into something that you want, you can click on each thing. So you could have done this in the advanced search, or you can do it now in the side here. I would say document type is a good place to start if you don't really have a specific thing you want to search, but you know what type you want. So we can do articles, we can do editorials, apply those. So it's automatically going to apply, and it's here at the top, and it says applied filters, document type, article, editorial. And then if you want to do more, we can do publication date. We can do after, and it's going to give you all of this. So let's see, let's look at stuff after 2010. It'd just be that year. And then apply. Oh, it looks like we have one result. So yeah, when you do some limiters, sometimes even though I have 3 things limiting what, or I guess technically 4, because we have it specifically newspapers and periodicals, you can really narrow it down for you. So this is a helpful way to find things as well. And then if we go back up here to the top right, we have collections. So let's click there. So it's showing all these collections. So they've organized the archives into different collections for you so that you can look for different topics more easily. They cover a bunch of different topics within sexuality and gender. And then you can see what also limit what is the results are here. If you just click on these drop downs. If you click on publications, same thing we saw earlier, just that big list of all the publications within this archive. You click on about. So we did see that small snippet describing what this archive is about. So this is a more in-depth about the archive and what it has to offer. And this could be really helpful too, so you know exactly what kind of stuff you're going to get by searching in this archive. It's helpful to know what the archive is even holding before you do a search to make sure it has things that you need. And then we have Learning Center. This is super helpful because it can help you learn how to use this archive or even get started in research. So you have conceptualize your research questions. So this archive is helpful, and it has all this stuff. It says about this archive, about the source collections, sample topics and searches, content advisory. So if we click on sample topics and searches, it's giving you examples of different topics you can look into, which is super cool. Can help you if you need to find a research topic in this realm of research. And then here on the left hand, it has that same drop down menu we saw. Content advisory. And then if we click find, all these things to help you search the archive. So if we click search the archive, so it teaches you here how to do basic searches and then advanced searches. So this is very helpful. So if you're brand new to this and you don't know how to do advanced searching or even searching to get what you need, this guide is very helpful. They even have a language and terminology section. On this page, it teaches you about the terminology and language of this archive. So it's saying it has terms like queer and gay. Sorry, I clicked on that. Queer, gay, variations of LGBTQ, and also telling you there's 25 different languages in this archive. Just important information you're going to need to know while searching. It has general search tips, very helpful. It has basically all the searching advanced search techniques. So it has the Boolean operators, proximity searching, nesting, what quotation marks can do, wildcards, and ignored. So it lists out everything that you can use. So what we did was we used the truncation wildcard, which is using an asterisk like this when we search for feminist earlier. So that's really nice. They have everything listed out for you. Then it says browse the archive. So it tells you how to browse, how you can separate your searches, and then the topic finder and term frequency, which we already looked at. This one under read, it has on the left hand side says search term hits and OCR, metadata, and full citation, research examples that might be helpful. So this is really cool. It's giving you topics and examples and things that you can use to start your research. Even here at the bottom in this gray box, it has search for these key terms to find things on those topics. So this archive is very, very user-friendly, and they want you to use their archive. They want you to use it successfully, and because they have all of these helpful tips on how to use it. And then they have even a thing about citing your documents and how to cite it from their site. It even has this picture here. They have copyright and reuse information. And then essays. So this learning center is a very, very useful tool to use to help you understand how to use the archive and understand what it is, and basically help you learn how to do research. And then here on the top right, we're going to hit get link. So it's just a link back to this page or whatever page you're open in this archive. So if we click back to the main menu, so this archive is very user-friendly and has a lot of different types of things you can use, like topic finder, term frequency. Let's check out term frequency. So it'll show you different terms, how often they're used. I think this is for specifically this archive because they have different terms like LGBTQ or LGBTQIA plus or gay, or showing basically how much those words are used within certain years and certain research, because terms do change over time. So that's really cool they have this. And yeah, so that is how to use the Gale Primary Source Archives of Sexuality and Gender. Thank you for watching.